Speaking
Thank
with you. Have a great 2023. We'll, of course, chat with you soon. The market has come off a little bit. It's not holding on to its highs, but it's not getting to new lows either. And the pressure really this morning is coming in from TCS, by the way, is going ex-dividend. So just keep an eye out on that. But apart from that, the pressure is coming in on steel. JSW Steel, Tata Steel are all under pressure. And auto stocks, Eicher Motors, M&M are also in the red. But the stock in focus is MCX. It gained in trade on Friday. It was the top F&O gainer on hopes of a volume boost from new contracts after SEBI has allowed these multiple contracts of a single commodity. Rishi Nathani, who's the Chief Business Officer at MCX of India, and Arun Raste, the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer at NCDEX, joins us now to talk about that. Gentlemen, morning to both of you. Mr. Nathani, I want to start with you. If you can quantify for us, with now, multiple contracts being allowed, what will the benefits be for you in terms of the average daily turnover? What could the rise be?
It's very difficult to say anything regarding average daily turnover. What I could say is that this circular would lead to an increase in overall participation from various segments of the value chain, which maybe could not participate fully earlier because of the size of the contracts. So now, since there will be multiplicity in the contracts, various MSMEs and other participants could also participate in this contract. So we'll see a larger participation across the value chain.
Good morning. Mr. Nathani, just very simply, what you're saying is what this will mean is you'll be able to offer smaller sized contracts, mini contracts, which you used to offer earlier. Is that what this is?
Yeah, so earlier for example, in base metals, we had mini contracts. Now, this circular enables us to have multiple contracts on the same commodity. So effectively, we could look at mini contracts as well.
Okay, all right. Hi, Mr. Nathani. A couple of brokerages, they have written that they believe it could increase the futures average daily turnover by around 7 to 8%. Do you think that's gettable?
Well, brokerages know better what they are saying. It is very difficult for me to comment on.
Now, I know it's difficult to put a finger or a number out there, but from your perspective, do you think it's gettable? High single digits.
All I know is participation will increase. How it translates into numbers is for the market to decide.
Mr. Nathani, you actually had mini contracts earlier, right? And then they were disallowed. Could you tell us when they were being offered? What was, in terms of sort of traded volumes on an average, what was the share of these as a percentage of the total? Say, for example, in base metals. Yeah.
Yeah, so, it's not an apple-to-apple comparison because earlier when we had mini contracts also, earlier the base metal contracts were cash settled. Now they're deliverable. So, and a lot of time has passed. So it is very difficult to give comparisons.
Okay. Can you tell us about whether you will be introducing contracts for all non-precious metals as well? And any contracts in the option space that you plan to introduce? Just trying to understand what the future would hold.
See, we keep evaluating contracts as and when we find them feasible. We definitely approach the regulator for permission, and as and when we get permissions, we will definitely launch contracts. But as of now, it is very difficult to say what contracts specifically would be launched or not.
Okay. Mr. Arun Raste has also been sitting by patiently. Mr. Arun, your thoughts on what are the commodities that are trading currently on your own platform? And for 2023, what does it hold? What kind of commodities would you be looking to launch?
So, I'll just answer this in a minute. But before that,
Sure.
There are two things which I just wanted to mention. One, this particular step is welcome for the simple reason the SEBI has enabled the smaller investors to come into the derivatives market, basically commodities market. If you look at the number of equity traders or equity investors in this country, it is about 8 crores. And between MCX and NCDEX, we don't have more than a few lakhs. For the simple reason, say if you're looking at a 10-gram gold contract on MCX, a common investor will not be in a position to invest in that. And if you want to deepen the market and if you want to reach out to the common people, I think you need to reduce the lot size. And that was the logic for us asking for the reduction in or multiple contracts of the same contract, multiple variants. So a smaller contract, say 1 gram, will be more palatable to a small investor. And you have seen a lot of, number of investors who have been added in last 2 years, and all those people would be in a position to buy this. That is one. Second, it also helps in terms of increasing the liquidity in the market and hedging opportunities. And people can take their own risk decisions based on the contracts they have. They can have a bigger contract and they can have a smaller multiple contracts to hedge there. So we welcome this step for the simple reason that it will deepen the markets and more investors will come into commodities. Having said that, for our own exchange, we will explore what are the opportunities available to us in our own contracts. And then whatever is feasible, we will definitely go back to regulator and launch those contracts.
Okay, so going by what both you gentlemen are saying, we'll still have to see how this plays out. For the time being, the participation and volumes are likely to get a bit of a boost. But Mr. Nathani, I want to come back to you. There's another point of view with regard to MCX. With regard to the switch to TCS as the service provider. Now, since you're already going to be continuing with 63 Moon Technologies for the next couple of quarters at least, have you revised prices for them? And by when do you move to TCS software? Go ahead.
I will not be able to comment on this as of now. Whatever communication we need to bring out, we will bring out in due course.
Mr. Nathani, you have to tell us something.
Okay, by when do you switch to TCS, sir? You could give us that. I think you'll have mentioned somewhere middle of this year or so. Is that the rough timeline?
We will inform the market as and when we will make that switch.
All right, let me give it a shot. Mr. Nathani, okay, just let me stick with the 63 Moons point. Will you need permission from them to launch these contracts if you decide to do so?
We will need permission from the regulator to launch contracts.
Okay, there's nothing on the from 63 Moons. Will there be additional charges, etc., which could be levied? Will there be additional cost?
Very simply, we are in a silent period, so it is very difficult for me to make any comments.
Okay, just tell us, if you were to launch these mini contracts, by when, broad timeline, without getting into specifics, will we see something in the quarter, do additional systems, etc., need to be built in for this to happen, so it's a longer drawn-out affair? Just a broader sense.
It's very difficult to give timelines because first we'll have to evaluate the circulars just out a couple of days back. Evaluate which contracts are feasible, go to the regulator, get permissions, and then we'll inform the market and bring the contracts up.
Okay, one final question then. There is a lot of volatility lately in crude. Are you seeing crude go up in terms of your average daily turnover? What are the numbers looking like? Not asking for a forward-looking statement, but just how that market is
See, commodities. Yeah, so commodities have been volatile in the last year due to various geopolitical issues, as we are all aware. And crude is a major share of our overall turnover, which you are seeing, especially in options. And hopefully going forward, we'll see more traction, not only in crude, but other commodities as well.
Okay, we'll leave it there, gentlemen. Great to have both of you with us today. We look forward to speaking with you, both of you, around the time of the earnings release. I understand, Mr. Nathani, you're in the silent period, so cannot reveal very much, but I hope you'll be able to do so post the earnings. Thank you very much.